Mining the mineral resources of South Africa plays a pivotal role in creating employment and wealth for the country. South African mining conditions are extreme. Some of our mines are the deepest and hottest found anywhere in the world. Some mines are vulnerable to seismic activity or complex rock formations. Almost all our mines are vulnerable to hidden pockets of flammable gas. Great care is taken to ensure the safety of miners and the surrounding communities. But sometimes an accident or a natural disaster will occur. To manage these emergencies, a system of trained rescue personnel, sophisticated equipment and other rescue resources are available to the South African mining industry. This vital emergency support system is provided by the mine's rescue services. An underground fire is one of the greatest and potentially most dangerous hazards that can occur in a mine. When a fire occurs underground, workers immediately put on the self-rescuer that is always worn on the belt for just such an emergency. They then move to an underground refuge chamber as quickly as possible. Here, they must wait to be rescued by Mines Rescue Brigadesmen or Proto Team members.
Control, good morning.
Yes, it's 4 of us here in the refuge bay on 112 level.
Are you in the refuge bay?
Yes, 106 refuge bay. Yeah, we suspect there's a fire in the 112 race lane. We just came out of the eastern gully.
When an incident is reported, the mine immediately notifies the MRS staff member on duty who determines the urgency and the severity of the emergency. The mine will muster its own proto teams to begin with rescue and recovery efforts. The affected mine will set up their standard emergency procedure in their control room. All activities relating to the emergency are coordinated from here. In the meantime, the MRS will notify and mobilize proto teams currently undergoing refresher training at the rescue station or teams from mines closest to the affected mine. If the incident is critical, teams proceed to the affected mine as quickly as possible. They will undergo a quick fitness check and be deployed immediately. If the incident is less critical, proto teams will undergo a full medical examination before reporting for service. While teams are proceeding to the scene, the MRS representative will determine if any equipment is required and travel to the mine with all the required resources. Everyone is briefed in the control room. The MRS representative assists with recommendations to the mine's incident management team. Brigadesmen change into their underground gear and report back for detailed instructions and to determine their mission objectives. These could include search and rescue, evacuate, rescue or dig out trapped people, locate a fire, fight a fire or build walls to seal off a fire, reconnoiter an affected area, set up and use specialized equipment, and many more. The first team in will establish a fresh air base, which will be the closest, well-ventilated place near the fire or incident. The fresh air base will be a safe place to conduct the underground activities of the rescue mission from. Vital direct communication channels are established from the fresh air base to the control room. When breathing apparatus are required, there will always be a backup team on hand to assist. Brigadesmen may remain underground for as much as 12 hours at a time, after which they are sent home to rest for at least 12 hours. If needed, they may be called upon again, a second and even a third time. When the rescue mission is completed, a debriefing is held in the control room. Who are these brave men that become members of a proto-team? Brigadesmen are proud volunteers from the member mines. Many are miners who work underground and are familiar with the conditions. Each proto-team consists of at least 5 or 6 people. When a proto-team is called to action, they will often face the extremes of hazardous circumstances. They have to be able to rely on one another 100%. For this reason, teams nominate new members for training and elect their own captain and vice-captain. Nominees must be older than 21 years of age and younger than 45. Each nominee must be willing to undergo a medical examination to ensure that they are healthy and fit enough to survive the strain of a rescue operation. Through various tests, the MRS can determine whether a nominee is physically able to tolerate the hardships such as heat and claustrophobia, which he may be called upon to endure. Successful rescue operations require well-trained rescue or proto-teams who are not only willing to work in extreme conditions of zero visibility, thick smoke, cramped spaces and total darkness, but must also be willing to risk their own lives for the sake of others. One of the tasks that proto-teams are called upon to fulfill most often is fighting fires. Depending on the situation, this could involve controlling or extinguishing the fire. All the equipment required to control or fight a fire or to rescue colleagues must be carried to the scene of the emergency by the brigadesman. On arriving at the scene of a fire, the brigadesman's first task is to ensure that everyone trapped in the area is assisted out. Underground fires represent a grave danger from excessive heat, as there is no place for the fire's heat to escape. In addition, fires will invariably burn the wooden packs erected to support the underground workings, thus giving rise to fall-of-ground incidents. For this reason, most burning tunnels are sealed off permanently and the fire is allowed to burn itself out. It is vitally important that a brigadesman is completely familiar with his breathing apparatus. He must know exactly how to use it, when to use it, and how long it will last. In the hot, airless environment of an underground fire, breathing apparatus and other equipment is often the only fragile barrier separating him from certain death. In the harshest of emergency conditions, a brigadesman must be able to make good, effective choices and split-second decisions. In preparation for the dangerous task of firefighting underground, arduous workload training is conducted in a gallery designed to simulate the actual conditions as closely as possible. The MRS also offers the legally required quarterly refresher training for brigadesmen. In order to be eligible to become a captain or a vice captain of a proto team, a brigadesman must pass the advanced training which is offered on a regular basis. Proto teams cannot operate safely and effectively without a significant support structure to coordinate and sustain their efforts. This is undertaken by a control room team. The MRS also offers control room manager training to mine managers and other senior mine officials. Continuous research and development ensures that the services rendered by MRS are always at the forefront of worldwide progress to minimize loss of life and assets. MRS invests heavily in specialized equipment and techniques to deal with the extreme circumstances encountered in South African mines. A portable borehole rescue winder for use underground can lift 2 people to a distance of 1,500 meters. A unique portable nitrogen colliery inertization system can help to secure the safety of miners. Coal, and especially coal dust, is extremely combustible. Filling a volatile area with nitrogen deprives the combustible material of oxygen and prevents the initiation of an explosive fire. Other equipment available includes substrata radios to maintain communication with rescue teams underground, cooling garments, lifting and cutting equipment, rope rescue equipment, trapped person locating device, thermal imaging camera, and long-duration self-rescuers. The MRS also inspects and services all apparatus used by rescue teams in rescue operations. The proto teams trained by MRS have a distinguished record of discipline, reliability, and bravery, and a track record equal to none. Since its inception, the MRS has been called upon to assist numerous times in many different types of mines. Many people have been rescued in these operations. Sadly, more than 35 brigadesmen have given their own lives to save the lives of their fellow miners. Voluntate servio, serving my fellow man voluntarily. No wonder that the brigadesmen's insignia command respect and admiration. The law requires every mine in South Africa to belong to a suitable rescue organization. The Mine Rescue Services, or MRS, is internationally recognized as one of the foremost mine rescue organizations in the world. MRS has 4 established rescue stations at Evander, Welkom, Steelpoort, Carltonville, and the head office. On any day, at any time, we are ready to assist any member mine countrywide experiencing an emergency. Within a few hours, a rapid response call-up of highly trained proto teams and state-of-the-art equipment can be coordinated by the MRS. In the event of an emergency at any time of day or night, Mine Rescue Services is ready to assist. Through our available resources, we will provide a complete structured emergency rescue system to minimize the loss of life, assets, or the environment. Together, we can save lives.